Hello everyone, welcome to another Fallout 76 video. Are you ready to learn about 10 PvP things that you probably don't know yet? Alright, so it's patch 7 now and a lot of things have changed lately. And it also applies to PvP. I have been testing quite a lot of things, and I have also engaged in PvP to try and test and experience some new things. And I have found out 10 things that I do really think you need to know before you engage in PvP, and they can also be very useful for you so you can decide what to do ahead of time. So let me present you what I have for you today. As you probably know, the Pacifist mode allows you to stay away from PvP. You won't be able to damage people and they won't be able to damage you back. And that's great if you really don't like the action. But it's quite buggy, to say the least, when you are part of a team that is not in Pacifist mode. So for example, I was doing Uranium Fever, I was checking my inventory and some random person came and started attacking my team. He killed one of the guys, then I tried to get close to kill him and he one-shot me with his gun. And he killed another guy who was in his inventory too. So he just came and killed 3 of us while I was in pacifist mode. And that's all because I was part of the team and things are not working as intended. At first I didn't know I was in pacifist, but then I started to realize that this guy who killed me just a few minutes ago, he was killing my teammates and he was white for me. And then I realized, oh, I have pacifist enabled, but before it didn't work and now it is actually working. And then suddenly things changed. He became red name again and it was a complete mess. Sometimes he could kill me, sometimes he was white name. So I really couldn't find a rule for this. I think it's just super epic bugged, and you shouldn't rely on pacifist when you are part of a team, because you will probably end up in a situation similar to this one where you are not attacking and you get attacked and killed, or the person is white name and then suddenly it's red name and they kill you. So yeah, just don't rely on it when you are in a team and you should be fine. Okay, so contesting workshops can be a fun way to engage into PvP, but you should have in consideration that there are a lot of exploits right now. For example, people can spam small budget items to prevent you from moving around freely or even getting stuck. Like in this case here, I got stuck, I couldn't really get out, and then they just killed me here because I couldn't move, I couldn't run away, I couldn't even attack him. I tried to use my VATS to TP, but I killed his structure instead and then he just finished me off. Besides getting stuck, people can also prevent you from reaching certain buildings, or they can just barricade themselves to prevent you from contesting the workshop or from taking it in this case. As you can see in here, this guy put these items at the door. It made it very difficult to get across. And then I checked the next building and he also blocked the doors, so I'm not even sure if he was inside or not because I couldn't get inside. And yeah, this is a very nasty way to somewhat negate PvP, because you won't really be able to kill the person or the owner of the workshop and they can barricade themselves, so your progress bar will never be finished in the workshop. So be aware of this the next time you see such tricks and exploits. Another curious thing that I have found out lately is that the reactive plates from the Raider power armor can reflect 50% of the damage you receive from melee attacks. For instance, if you can one-hit people, you will basically suicide. You will be hitting yourself to death, and that's quite ridiculous in my opinion. And it's only 50% of reflection, so I'm not sure how does it work, because as you can see, the damage I'm doing to him is basically the same damage I am receiving back. Now, all I can think of is that his armor is reducing my damage by a lot, while I'm receiving 50% of pure damage back, which makes things look very balanced, as in input and output damage. But it's still a very OP, and I can actually see this being a trend now with the new survival mode coming up very soon, because this will basically nullify melee builds. They will be quite useless, you know? You will be killing yourself if you hit people with this power armor. So if something like this happens to you, you will probably know what happened. As you probably know, in the last patch, energy weapons got boosted. Their damage is now increased and their durability is also increased. So they are more reliable now, more than ever, I think. And for example, Tesla weapons seem to be very useful in PvP. They are particularly strong against multiple enemies, as in for multi killing, and they are also good for people who are not so good at aiming, because you can simply aim to the people around you and the Tesla will start doing this area damage effect attack, which is very, very effective against multiple opponents at once. And the damage is actually high. I'm pretty sure this guy was using the right perks for the weapon, and the damage is quite impressive. And this means that you no longer have to use just the same explosive damage weapons anymore. Maybe energy is the way to go now. I found out that one-hand melee weapons are quite effective, and I'm starting to think that they are actually more effective than two-hand weapons such as sledgehammers or axes, because I have been using them almost my entire life in Fallout 76. And I am not a full build for this yet. I'm still missing one gladiator perk, and I can basically kill everything in a second. Okay, it takes a few more hits to kill mobs or people. I'm not one-shotting them, but I attack so fast that I basically do 2-3 attacks per second, and this gives you a little bit of a space to miss while still doing a lot of damage, because when you miss with a two-hand weapon, it's a lot of time and you can die in the meanwhile, while in here there's more space for failure without being penalized. So I do think this might be probably better than two hands, but I still need to do a little bit more testing. Lately I have been seeing a lot of people with no power armor, even in PvP, but there's a very big con when you are not in a power armor. For example, explosives. When people throw a grenade at you, even if it doesn't land exactly on you, you're still going to get damage or disabled. In this case, your legs or arms will break, sometimes your head too, and this will condition your movement a lot. You won't be able to sprint, or if you break your head, you'll be all fuzzy. And the only way to cure this is to immediately consume a stim pack, and by the time you do that, you will probably be dead, because, you know, your opponent has plenty of time to come close and kill you or to shoot you from afar, because you won't be able to really run away. I just spotted something very strange some days ago, and it was during the Hunter Hunted event where I kept damaging this person to death. Basically, he has no HP, but he doesn't die. So I'm only assuming it's a display bug or some sort of bug with the HP bar. I'm not quite sure what it is. I have seen this at least 4 times during the combat encounter I had with him, and I really can't find an explanation for this, because even if he was using stim packs right away, the bar shows he has no HP. So how can you use a stim pack if you are dead? You can't, right? So I'm only assuming this must be some sort of bug with the HP bar that tells you the person is dead, but he's not dead, or maybe he's just very close to death. I don't know, but it's just very strange. It wasn't just 1 or 2 times, it happened 4 times just in this fight. So if you guys know about this or why is it happening, do let me know. I would very much like to know the answer, or at least to get a bit of enlightenment here. Besides the invincible bug, there is also an invisible bug. So while fighting this guy here, who I presented in the first point about the pacifist mode being super buggy, this guy, he turned invisible as well. I mean, he's right here, I can see the icon. I hit him, I hear the sounds of hitting, there's some blood too, but where is he? I mean, there is nothing there, there's no body, and then, yeah, he disappears, and then this guy also came. Yeah, I'm not sure how are people getting invisible. Also, I noticed that this person in my team, he moves invisible. He's sprinting, he's jumping, he's attacking, killing a person, and running away while being fully stealth. Now, as far as I'm aware, the mutation chameleon, also the stats in your armor that makes you camouflaging with environment don't allow you to do this. So I'm quite confused. Probably just another bug, but still. It's a big turn down and disadvantage in PvP if it actually happens to you. And did you know that melee hits can actually hit 2 players at once sometimes? Well, that's what happened exactly here. My friend was about to die, and this guy in one swing killed him and damaged me to like 2 HP or something. Very strange, huh? The last point I have for you is more of a curiosity, and it's about the cows in game, aka Brahmins. So if you have one in your base, anyone can kill them and they will never get the wanted status for some bizarre reason. I mean, they are still part of your camp, they are your property, so if someone kills it, they should get a bounty just like they would for killing anything else in your base. But they don't. Actually, my friend here, he is able to kill them, repair, kill them over and over again, and nothing really happened. So yeah, maybe in the future this will get fixed. Hopefully. And these are the 10 things that I really think you need to know before you engage in PvP. Or, well, if you engage, you should know them because they can really save your life when you are in action. I am Marta Branco, I hope you enjoyed the content. If so, don't forget to subscribe, it means a lot to me, and thank you so much for watching until this point. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!
Wow.